While several cultures in human history have practiced cannibalism at one point or another, the most gruesome example of all was the cruel practice of so-called slave eating, practiced in parts of Western and Central Africa. When famous writer Ibn Battuta visited the Mali Empire in Western Africa, he witnessed how warriors from a cannibal tribe were given a slave girl as a gift from the king. They slaughtered her and covered themselves in her blood as a gesture of gratitude. As a Muslim, the king found this practice to be morally reprehensible, but allowed it to not offend the sensibilities of certain groups living in his domain. In areas that are now Sierra Leone, southern Nigeria, Cameroon, and Ivory Coast, slaves were sold purely for their meat, fattened up in pens before slaughter. While these unfortunate souls were often captives of war, unexpected travelers or lost children could also be caught and sold. The children were especially prized as their meat was seen as more tender and succulent. To make their meat even more tasty, the children would be put into a river with their limbs broken to ripen for a full night before consumption. These cultures did not consider this practice immoral, as they saw other ethnic groups as no different from animals. Similar practices were not confined to West Africa alone. Across the vast regions that today include the Congo, Gabon, Cameroon, and parts of Chad, certain peoples also practiced forms of cannibalism, such as the consumption of slaves. In fact, such practices reached their widest spread in the Congo Basin, though they were never universal. Within the community, an unbreakable taboo prevailed: one did not consume one's own. But beyond that boundary, the rules dissolved. Prisoners of war, slaves, and unwary outsiders from distant groups could be killed without hesitation. To them, these victims were not people in the full sense. They were sustenance, regarded no differently than livestock. The Congolese traveler Disasi Makulo recounts a haunting episode in his memoirs. After years of wandering, he finally returned to his native village. His arrival was met with astonishment and celebration. His people, overjoyed, resolved to honor his return with a grand feast. 2 young slave girls would be slaughtered for the occasion. Makulo refused. According to several sources, cannibalism was still practiced well into colonial times in certain areas, up until the 20th century even. Luckily, it became an ever more marginalized affair until it eventually died out almost completely in most parts of Africa.